Okay, today we're going to talk about lists. I'm currently in Chrome. I've used the inspect element to open up my element inspector over here on the right hand side. I like Chrome for looking at my code because it's very easy to collapse and look at each piece of code at a time. Firefox default opens to the bottom. They pretty much do the same thing, and you'll see that I use both in this class. So this is the page that I create, and I have unordered lists, ordered lists, and description lists. And I want to look at how I've created these and how I've styled these. So I'm going to start with the body, which is where the HTML is. We are using an in-page, a top-of-the-page style sheet, which I'll come back to on the styling. You'll notice that the body section covers all of this. I have the first container. That's this one with my unordered list in it. And the unordered list starts with the UL or unordered list tag. In there, I have items and sub-items. When you have a sub-item, it goes inside another list. So you open the list, type item 2, which we have here, and then you put in a new unordered list before you close the list. So this list item here closes right here. We have an unordered list nested inside it with two sub-items. That's the outer unordered list, and that's the whole div, the whole container. I do have a separate div for each item here because it makes it easy to separate them when I'm showing them to you. So in the second section, I have an ordered list. And I can expand that, and you'll see with the ordered list, I'm changing the type that's appearing next to it. So here, the default, if you don't put a type, is, if you don't have a type, the default, I'm not sure if this will change it or not, but let's give it a shot. There you go. The default is 1 or 2. But you can override with a bunch of different type statements. So here, instead of having type I could put in type A lowercase, and you'll notice that it changes to an A and B. So you can use type when you're using ordered lists. You actually have to style unordered lists using CSS, and I'll show you that in a moment. So the last of the ordered list types we have is the description list. And that's a DL. The DT is your title. Your DD is the actual description. So you can see I've got my title followed by a description, followed by a title, followed by a description. Styling on this is again done through CSS, and we'll take a look at that now. We've looked at and worked with inline styles in the past. We're now working with styles at the top of our HTML sheet. So we can have all of the styles here. So it's in the head section. We've put in a title, and I've put in the tag of style. And in this style, I have all the body styles, all the styles for my sheet. So the body, I've put in the background color. I've set a font family. This will apply to the whole page. Color refers to this default gray color that I'm using for my text. The DT is we're defining here the description title. So we've got it bold, we've got that sort of green-blue color, the line height of 2. This is the interesting part because we are nesting our lists here. Right now we're talking in this first one, list item inside an unordered list is going to have a list style type of circle. You see that here. When we're selecting items with CSS, we have to drill down or into the nest. So if the ULLI refers to this circle, this ULLI is inside of this one. So it's ULLI, ULLI to get us down to this level where we have the list style type of a square. Correctly using CSS selectors can be tough, and it takes a bit of practice. This is a good place to work on it. One other thing I would like to point out, I did a border radius of 5%, causing this sort of gradual decline. You normally see me doing a border radius of 5 pixels. the styles here. So here I have the border radius 5%. I want to change it to pixels. Now watch the corners when I hit enter. See how that changes when we go from the percent to the pixels? I can put it back just by hitting refresh. So it's a slightly different shape when we use the percent versus pixels. So that's your styling and using lists. For your assignment, you're going to do something a little more complex than this. I'd like you to have 2 different subsets in each one where you change the sub-menu bullet for each subset. And make sure that you also style using CSS.